Welcome back, guys, to episode 10 of the Gold Stripe Podcast. It's a good day today. We got a lot of good action from March Madness this week, so let's pray first, and then we'll get into it. We have a good episode planned. So, dear Heavenly Father, I just want to thank you for all that you've done for us, Lord, and especially during this Easter weekend, Lord. We want to thank you for the sacrifice you made for us, Lord, and just everything you've done for our lives. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Great week of March Madness last week. It was a lot of fun the first two rounds.
Best weekend of the year.
It was, I saw people saying how this year, they think it's been so crazy that it's just going to even out and the playoff or the tournament's not going to be as crazy.
And it kind of, it did, there wasn't the upsets, but there was plenty of good games.
Yeah, it was a lot of good games that turned out how people probably thought, but we had our fair share of upsets too, and it was a lot of fun. A lot of brackets were busted. I know we had a couple of people in our U crew bracket challenge that they had Auburn winning. Yeah,
that was tragic for them. And you were getting clowned a little bit
because
you had two. You were in last and then third to last, and people were making fun of him, saying, "How does this guy have a podcast?"
Yeah, our bracket challenge we let everybody make two brackets, and I made my first bracket. I actually kind of tried on some of them. I just sped through it, and I think I got it done in 45 seconds. And then the second one, I was like, I'm gonna go crazy, and I went the top seed and then the low seed and then the top seed, and we just rotated the entire time. It didn't work out. It's in last place.
Yeah, that's just your excuse.
But my main one's in third place.
Came from the trenches. That thing was down there.
They were clowning on me, and now I'm up there.
Mine also made a drastic fall from being first place with everything perfect until the Oakland game to just in shambles.
Golke, though.
Golke. That dude.
He got you.
Yeah, he did. Do you see Bijan's bracket? Bijan Robinson?
Is he still perfect?
No, he got when Western Kentucky didn't win.
Oh, yeah, Western Kentucky.
Yeah, but that's crazy. He almost made it through the whole first 2 days, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was perfect through the first day.
Yeah, for sure.
And then it was the evening, right? Was when they played.
It was the next evening, one of the later games, yeah. So that's making it through the first round is pretty crazy.
Yeah, first round. Yeah. I was thinking first day for some reason, but yeah. So while we're on the topic of it, what were some more upsets that you kind of saw that were like, that's crazy?
Like you said, there was McNeese, or not McNeese, sorry. There was Golke and Oakland upsetting Kentucky, and also Auburn. The Kentucky team, my goodness, the SEC teams have not been doing very good in the tournament.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the SEC commissioner was saying how they need to they need to get rid of all those automatic conference bids to make room for more better teams from the bigger conferences like the SEC, and then they got clowned the first two rounds.
The SEC never impresses me in the tournament.
No.
They
always are first round,
especially now. When college basketball started out becoming the one and dones, Kentucky was a powerhouse because they were getting these high prospects that were just going to go straight to the league, but they would have super teams. Yeah. Because the teams weren't going to the college programs that were they were just a program that's going to be 4 years and you're going to play in this system. John Calipari is the founder of the one and done, and he made a living off of that for a couple of years. Now it's everybody's doing it, and every program is becoming better with that. And so I don't know. I'm curious to see where Kentucky goes with John Calipari, because didn't they just sign him a few years ago to a 20-year deal or something like that?
It was something crazy, but a lot of people are calling for his name to be fired. So
yeah, but that would be a huge buyout.
Yeah, huge, gigantic. And he's still a good coach, but obviously when you're at Kentucky 5 years and I believe they don't have a first round win in 5 years. I think I saw a graphic.
Yeah, they're 1-5 now, I think, in their last 6 NCAA games.
So they have not done very good.
Yeah. And that's just a testament to where college basketball has been the last couple of years. There hasn't been a steady powerhouse team. Virginia was there for a little bit, and Gonzaga was, but
this year, and Duke even, but this year's kind of fallen off a little bit.
Now
they're still good teams. They're mid-tier teams, but they're not the powerhouses they were.
Now it's the Houston's becoming good again, and UConn's becoming good. All those teams are just becoming the powerhouses of the league.
Yeah.
So.
But we were talking about Kentucky with the one and dones, they have probably 3 or 4 first round draft picks on that team, if this year and next year as well. And the beauty about March is that it just takes one player to knock off those 3 or 4 NBA guys.
That's what
like you have a dude with a W for a hairline, and this dude just goes out there, drops 10 threes, and single-handedly beats him.
he had 16 threes in 2 games.
Yes, I think that was an NCAA record, they said.
It's gotta be
For 2 games.
Well, the 10 was the record, wasn't it?
I think so, but I think in 2 days as well, he set another record. So
Man, he was on another level.
he even got a sponsorship,
Was it TurboTax?
TurboTax. Like he filmed an NIL deal in the hotel room.
I mean, it's
I was like, wow,
that's good marketing.
Exactly. He
just
got
saw-
that cash
You just
for
saw-
a day.
You saw the kid drop 30 on Kentucky, 32 on Kentucky, and then now he's on TurboTax ads the next day. Like,
Well, it's not bad. It's not a bad marketing strategy for TurboTax either. They probably didn't have to pay him too much, and the dude's all over Instagram for a day or two,
right?
and he's in your ad. So
Yeah, he probably made some bank that day.
yeah,
But I mean, I think that's what's so great about college basketball and like March Madness in itself is like we've seen the jokes and like the memes. It's like March Madness always has the opportunity to let a future executive like accountant play against 3 Hall of Fame players.
yep, and somehow get the win.
and somehow drops 30 on them. Like that's just how the game works. And like some people are hot and some people aren't. And like Kentucky, like they had a great season.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. They had Reed Shepherd, who's going to be a lottery pick. They have Rob Dillingham, who's also going to be a lottery pick. Like they have a lot to look forward to, but it raises some eyebrows when you've lost a lot in the tournament the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how they turn it around.
I was really disappointed that Oakland and NC State, which NC State's another team that I don't know if you call it an upset because a lot of people thought like it was coming the way they played in the ACC tournament, but you thought they were going to cool off at some point and maybe lose a close game in the first or second round, but no, they're still rolling. And it was a shame they had to play each other in the second round. Those are two I feel like the Cinderella teams of this.
You want to see them both go far.
Yeah.
And it sucks because one of them has to end the other one's season.
And they had that was a really good game too. I mean, DJ Burns, that dude. I mean, big old tons of fun. But he knows. I mean, he's smooth. He knows how to use his body.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch.
He's definitely. I've seen like Barstool and stuff like that saying that he's like America's favorite child right now or something like that. Like that's America's team, I guess.
Well, he reminds me of Loyola Chicago, their big man, who was also a big guy, but he was not very like skilled or athletic, but he knew how to use his body.
Right.
And he was kind of shifty down low.
Yeah, those are always like the most annoying players, I would say. Like if your team's playing them.
Oh yeah, it's most fun to root for though.
Because you're like, he's just a big guy. He can't do anything, and then just gets right past your defender.
He has almost zero like actual basketball skill, but he just knows how to use his
like
body.
we saw that when we played Hampton Sydney for Trine's team in the national championship. They had that big dude.
Yeah,
like, he was not athletic at all.
No.
But like he knew how to like move his body around, knew how to make like just get under the basket, and it was just like so aggravating because
because you knew
we had
everyone on the floor was 10 times athletic as this guy, and he was giving us buckets.
Like he was like E or like just E could just swat his mess out of here, but
He used his body well.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but
It's fun to watch.
Fortunately for us, we won, so it didn't really matter.
Exactly. So, what are some of the biggest letdowns you think throughout the first round? There was a few upsets.
Yeah.
You mentioned Kentucky, obviously a huge letdown, but what are some others?
Man, Auburn.
Yeah.
That, sure, the Wisconsin game too, but man, I had Auburn going deep. I had them going to my Final Four.
A lot of people did.
Yeah, I know a lot of people had them going to the championship game,
They had a ton of potential.
and that was just an utter. They just fell apart.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what else to say. Like they played so good in the tournament beforehand, and I don't know. I've heard a lot of people talking just about like people getting tired because it was NC State that they played 7 games in 13 days.
Yes, bro. That's absolutely
Oakland?
a wild stat.
And that they were like, like this is just gonna see how good their conditioning is, like how their bodies are when they're about to go play Oakland, because Oakland hadn't played as much as them.
Yeah.
And so, like I've heard that people saying like Auburn was probably also like just exhausted from the traveling and playing multiple times, but it didn't help that the NC State played that many games in so little days, and then just won. So
yeah, I guess it is what it is. Yeah, for me, I had McNeese and Wisconsin. Those were two teams. Wisconsin, I had them going to the Final Four in one or two of my brackets. They just lost to it. James Madison was not very good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you saw him versus Duke. Even Charles Barkley was commenting. He was like, the stat sheet said they had 5 assists as a team. And he was like, I don't even think they had even 5. He said, I thought they had 2. And they just played one-on-one ball, and Wisconsin could not keep up. I don't know what happened. They just didn't look like they wanted to be there half the time. And it's frustrating because they played so well in the Big Ten tournament as well, making it to the championship, and almost knocked off Illinois to win it. But yeah. But McNeese, too, they let me down. Probably not very many of you guys. They were, a 12 seed, but I thought McNeese was going to go far, but I think this is also a testament to how good Gonzaga really is.
I think Gonzaga can go deep.
I mean, the way they manhandled Kansas. I know Kansas they're kind of
Kansas
frauds.
Is falling apart.
They were, especially the way they almost blew a lead with Samford.
Yeah.
But
they play, or their big man.
Dickinson?
Yeah, he has not been the same. Like, I guess he hurt his shoulder before the tournament, before the Big 12 tournament, and that's ultimately, like, what lost them, I guess you would say. But, like, you got to figure it out. Like, it's got to be a next man up mentality. And, like, they have a ton of talent. It's not like that's their best player. It's not like they're Purdue. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I feel like if Zach Edey goes down, Purdue's done.
I mean, obviously, he's averaging 27 or 26 a game.
So,
he's one of the biggest parts of their offense.
So, like, but I feel like they can make – I feel like the thing about Purdue is they would still make it a game.
Oh, yeah. They have the guard play.
Like,
where
they would change it up. They would go zone probably, obviously. But I just feel like Kansas, like, they just didn't have anybody that made plays for them. Like,
no, and it's been like that all year. I mean, they lost 6 or 7 Big 12 games. That hasn't happened in the whole career of
Bill Self.
Yeah, Bill Self. Mm-hmm. And it was a weird year for Kansas. Everyone thought they were good. They had a lot of hype, and they just kind of couldn't keep up with the hype. They lost a lot of big games at the end of the year, and it showed.
Yeah, it was. And I think for Kansas, too, the thing that usually is like their bread and butter is having a really good point guard.
Yes.
And like the Frank Masons, who was Graham, wasn't his name?
I don't know.
But like they've had just like these random good point guards that are there for all 4 years.
Yeah. They're not lottery picks, but they know the system and they play very well in the system.
They're Naismith Players of the Year, like candidates. Yeah. But they just haven't had that in the last few years. And so I think that's what helps Bill Self's team is having that floor general. Especially that would have helped so much because I just feel like they didn't have anybody taking over.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they didn't really have that guard who you could go to where you knew he was going to get you some points if you were in a drought.
Right.
And even with Dickinson, a lot of times Kansas in the last couple of years, they've had a big athletic center. Mm-hmm. And Dickinson, he's very good offensively, but I don't feel like he didn't have enough defensively to help Kansas as much as they needed.
Yeah, it just looked like he was too scared to play defense, like with his shoulder.
For sure.
So, I mean, and that's why they lost. Like you're not gonna be able to go on in the tournament. Like you have to. Every game's gonna have to be. You have to play tough.
I was surprised they beat Samford even.
Yeah,
but which a lot of people they got lucky. One of the cleanest blocks I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. Which it's tough for the officials. Yeah. Well, actually, let's go on to that. What do you think about the officiating this NCAA tournament?
I think it's been fine. I think just that Kansas game in itself was very questionable.
Yeah,
like. Just watching, even beforehand, like just the fouls they were calling and the fouls they weren't calling, was just like very confusing and very like like if I was a Samford fan, I would probably be very annoyed.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a Samford fan during the game, so I was like, "What are we doing?" And then,
there was.
I don't know how they didn't call that a foul at the end when he went up to block, like when he blocked it. That was just I could tell from the broadcast.
It looked
because you can tell
his body didn't even move.
Yeah, you can tell when like it hits their arm, like their arm will go down. His arm didn't move. The ball moved.
There was a lot of questionable. Like there was just games. Like I feel like there was like 3 games that really just stood out to people that like wow the officiating was pretty bad. Mm-hmm. Like I know like Colorado beating Florida. Everyone's saying that's a push off. That's like a 50-50 call, but people are using that as an example for the whole tournament. But there was a lot of calls that was like I don't know about that. Like this is weird officiating. There was one game. I'm really losing who it was. It might have been, I'm trying to think, maybe Northwestern Florida Atlantic maybe. But there was a stretch where there was like 4 bad calls in a row. Mm-hmm. And they were just like calling out of bounds when it wasn't. And they were like clearly not even close. And I was just like, man, this is just poorly officiated. But at the same time, they're humans, you know?
Right.
I feel like with all the instant replay, we've kind of gotten into a perspective where every call is easy. Mm-hmm. But obviously we're looking in slow motion.
Right.
So.
Yeah. No, I get it. It's just, and that's what I think is just, sometimes you just gotta let them play. Like, play it out. Like, because I'd be interested to see what happens if they don't call that foul.
Yeah.
Like, would Stanford go down and score again, probably?
Because they would have been down 2, I believe.
They would have been down 2.
About 20 seconds left. So
it's just...
anything could have happened there. All the momentum, too, for Stanford. So.
Also, one game that I was, like, confused about, I didn't watch, was the Alabama-Charleston game. Alabama was up like 100 points to like 60, I thought, or like 70.
Yeah.
And then they ended up only winning by 13.
Now that you say it, I definitely remember something. Like, I feel like I remember it being a way bigger blowout.
Maybe it was like they put in the bench players?
I don't know.
Because I was just like looking through scores and I was like, I swear, like, because we were talking.
We were watching it, yeah.
Because we saw it at the top and we were like, Alabama has 100 points. They have 3 minutes left.
Yeah. That's kind of reminded me of the Houston game yesterday.
Yes.
And they were down, or not they were, but who'd they play?
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M, yeah. So yeah, they were playing Texas A&M. Texas A&M's down, what was it, 13 with a minute 30?
13, yeah.
Or something like that. And they started fouling. And I was like, okay, I'm shutting this off. I'm going to take a shower. I get out of the shower and I look at our group chat and Houston choked. I was like, what? What do you mean Houston choked? Like, what game? Are we watching women's basketball or something? I look back on, it's overtime. I was like, are you kidding me? And then I saw the shot and I was like, holy crap.
Me and Zach, my roommate Zach, we were watching the game. I had it on my TV and he had it on his phone. And like I heard him like talking, because he was like gaming with friends, and I heard him like talking to his buddies. And his game was ahead of mine, so I like walked over and I was like just leaning over watching it with him. And they hit another 3, and I was like, oh my gosh, they might come back. And he's like, no, they're coming back. And then we kept watching. They fouled, and then they went down, and they missed both free throws. So they come back down, and they get an easy layup, and then they trap them, I think, and caused a timeout. And then I think they just played defense, got a stop, came down and hit another 3. Then they fouled them, went and shot free throws, came down. I think they either hit another. They got an and one.
Yeah, there's an and one sprinkled in there.
Yeah, so it was a 2-point game. They went down, fouled them. They made only 2. They only made 1.
Yeah.
So they come down and they like draw up a play, and that might have been the worst like shot beforehand. He chucked it up.
Yes, bro.
From the logo, and I was
not
like,
even close. I went, come on, bro.
What are we doing? I was like, oh, it's game. That's game. So then they come down, and I think he stepped out of bounds, right? Or no, they get the rebound. Or they went out of bounds. They took out of bounds.
Yeah.
So then it was like 1 second left.
And the double bounce pass.
And I called it. I remember this exactly. I told Zach, I said, they're going to have a double screen from the top into the corner.
That's a classic end of the game play.
And he's going to hit him there. Houston took it away. That like big man just like popped up and he's wide open, and they bowled that thing to him and he got it. And as soon as he let go, I went, oh, that's in. He hit that thing, and me and Zach went crazy. Our neighbors were banging on the wall next to us too. Mom, the call your mom sign fell off the sink mirror and like into our sink.
That's how crazy you guys were going.
It was nuts. Fortunately, they lost it over time.
Yeah,
but
everything that needed to go right for Texas A&M did in that final minute 30.
It was
everything.
Well, they did the same thing a few years ago. They were down like, it was when Alex Caruso was playing.
Oh yeah,
and they were down like 16 points with like a minute left.
Yeah. And
they came back and won the game. Like, I don't know, man.
Speaking of that, the Dayton game. Mm-hmm. Dayton and I'm trying to remember who it was. I just remember Dayton came back. It was a Western team, though. Let me look. If you find it, let me know. It's going to drive me crazy.
Was it?
Oh, Nevada. Yeah, Dayton and Nevada. Dayton was down like 17 with like 3 minutes left and came all the way back and won it. It was absolutely crazy. But everything, they were making everything. That's just the beauty of March. Just teams just catching fire at the end of games. And as the other team, you're like, we just got to hold out. But you can't do anything when
Right.
the team's making everything. So
There was let me find the game. It was an overtime game. I think it was Creighton
in Oregon,
and Oregon.
that was a good game.
Was
Real
it-
good
Was
game.
that the double overtime game?
Yes, Oregon should have won.
Well,
But
so yeah, I was watching that game, and I saw it go into overtime, and like I fell asleep, and I missed the rest of it. And Zach told me they went to double overtime, and I was like, oh, like who won? And he's like, Creighton did by 13. I was like, 13?
yeah, it was a
How do you win by
disaster.
13 in double overtime?
Oregon, they chucked every single three possible,
Yeah,
and they
I
were
watched
just,
the replay of that.
it was horrendous. The shot selection, that's what's disappointed me really in this tournament, is the shot selection at end of
yes.
the games.
Kentucky, bro. Kentucky played so awful.
Yes.
Like the shots that they were chucking up was just like it felt like they had no basketball IQ.
Exactly.
Like when you're down like 4, wouldn't you want to go get a layup?
Exactly.
No, let's dribble pull up 3.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. The Northwestern game, Florida Atlantic goes down with like 13 seconds left. Their point guard or shooting guard, Davis, dribbles on the right wing until 1 second and tries to shoot it and gets swatted because he didn't make a move. He just stood there for 13 seconds. And the announcers were like, well, I don't know what this guy's doing. Like, I just don't understand. Why wouldn't you just try to get a layup? Like, you're getting no step. You're not even making a move. You're just trying to
Right.
shoot it. And I was like, and then like all the comments are like, dude's trying to be on like the highlight reel for best March Madness, like buzzer beaters of all time. And it's ridiculous.
Well, so let's segue into this upcoming week. We got the games. Well, this episode will come out on Friday, so the games will kind of started on Thursday again. But who are your who has your favorites changed at all, or what are your picks looking like now?
I'm liking. Well, there's a team I'm liking. NC State. They're on fire, and I think Marquette is beatable.
Really?
I mean, Marquette. They're a good team, but they keep it close. They play with their competition, and I think NC State kind of has that clutch factor where they also keep it close, but they're always the underdogs and they squeak it out in the end. I think NC State could beat Marquette and be like kind of the sleeper Elite Eight pick, but also Purdue. They're looking fantastic. They're not a sleeper pick at all. I think they're easily going to win it all. Beating a team by 50 in March Madness is crazy. In the second round, no less, is crazy. I mean, Utah State's a good basketball team, but they also have a tough task with Gonzaga. So that's going to be a really good game. I'm really looking forward to watching that one.
Yeah, I like Marquette. Like I'm riding with them right now because I feel like they play good offense. Like they
do.
They move the ball really well. They're just not hitting
But
shots.
they go cold. Yeah, that's the
they're
thing.
just not
They
hitting
go
shots.
cold really, really easily.
But I'm telling you, once they start hitting shots, and they will, they're going to be a tough team to beat.
I agree with you, but I feel like their shooters are too inconsistent for them to win more.
Yeah,
like
but
they might be able to beat NC State, but I don't think they can win in the Elite Eight just because their shooters go cold way too often for them to be a consistent contender.
yeah, and they just got Kolek back.
Yeah.
And he's still getting his legs back under him, right? And he's now got 2 games under his belt since getting back, and I think he's starting to get into his groove. They've got a great big. I can't pronounce his name, but he's been playing really well. He's been doing I think he will be a good match for NC State's big man. I really do.
Really.
And I think that Marquette plays good defense too.
They do. That's kind of what keeps them engaged when they go
They have
cold.
good rotational defense.
Yes.
So I think that'll confuse NC State, and I think that's what's going to set that game apart. But I mean, NC State, man, they've been playing good offense too. Like their shooters have been shooting pretty well. So I think it's just going to come down to who's making shots.
What do you think about the Illinois-Iowa State game coming up this Thursday?
I think that'll be a good one. But I think I have Iowa State winning.
Okay.
Iowa State is hot right now.
They are.
And I just don't trust Illinois.
That's fair. I love this matchup because it's 2 gritty teams. Both are more defensive minded, I feel like, and both have offensive explosiveness to kind of create that energy and excitement throughout the game. Like I love Illinois the way they're playing. Their big man has been fantastic. Shannon's been doing he's been doing some crazy stuff. I mean, he was averaging 35 throughout the Big Ten tournament. In 3 games, he had 100 and some points. So he's been playing out of his mind. I don't know if anyone can stop him right now the way he's been playing. Yeah. But if someone's going to stop him, it's going to be Iowa State because they play fantastic defense.
Yeah, and I've heard the way the announcers have been talking about Shannon, like he's gonna be a good player in the NBA.
Oh yeah.
And just the way he drives the ball, like especially like, you can't get in front of him if he has a head of steam. And like they've been like comparing his drives to like LeBron. Like you're not gonna get in front of LeBron. He's powerful. Yeah, he drives the ball really well. So, if the Iowa State guards are able to pick him up and keep him from doing that, I don't see why Iowa State doesn't win this game.
Yeah, the key is you got to close out under control and stay in front of him. If he gets by you, he's not stopping. Like your big man might be able to step up, but he's good enough at the rim, and he's elusive, and he can make any bucket.
He also might dunk on your big man.
So. He really might. Yeah.
So, but I think that's they have Iowa State winning. ESPN does it with a 58% chance. But I think it's closer than that.
I think it's way closer than that. That should be one of the best games of the weekend.
I'm looking forward to that one a lot this weekend.
What do you think? What do you think about? Sorry to interrupt you.
No,
I wanted to talk, but what do you think about the Houston Duke game? Do you think Duke can pull this one out?
Before the Texas A&M game, no. But after watching the Texas A&M game, I'm more convinced that it will be a game.
Yeah.
It's just, will Duke be able to play good enough defense to stop the guards for Houston?
Yeah.
Or the big men. Like, Filipowski has not impressed me at all, his defense.
No, he's not tough enough to...
They have another big man, but he's not really that tall. But he's a really good presence. He's more of a presence in the paint than...
Filipowski's there for offense only. He's not interested in getting roughed up a little bit.
So, I think that will definitely be... The tail of the game is the big man matchups. But it'll be a good game too. But like I said, before the Texas A&M game, I would have seen Houston just steamrolling through them.
I agree with you, but I think Houston, the Texas A&M game I think it was a fluke because of how much foul trouble they were in throughout the game. Because if they stay with under how many fouls, and they have all their guys in the game, I feel like it's a lot different game. Texas A&M doesn't make that comeback, and they just continue that lead, and I'm probably winning by 20-ish.
And I would say just the games I've watched, like during the regular season of Duke does not come out hot.
No.
They are very slow, like they slowly get into the game. So I think if Houston's able to shut the door on them early, it's over.
Yeah.
And I bet, they're both good teams. They both have good players. Jared McCain is a great player. If he's hot, he's been hot shooting lately.
Yeah, he's been playing very, very well.
So if he keeps that up, they'll have a shot. But I think Houston wins this game still.
I think so too.
But we got a lot of fun games upcoming this weekend. Like I said, like this episode will come out on Friday, so a couple of games will start on Thursday, and So now do we want to segue into our competition segment?
All right, let's do it.
So this week we got another special competition segment, and we hope you guys enjoy it.
What's up, guys? We're out here back in the cold again.
Yes.
We had beautiful weather up here leading up until today, of course.
Yeah, now it's freezing and snowing a little bit.
We managed to choose the coolest days, I guess. It is snowing yet again. But today we got a putting challenge. We're basically going to be playing a mixture of just golf and fungo golf, if you know what that is. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to line up one of these orange cones somewhere and use this putter, and we'll probably say we'll make up pars. We're going to do 3 different holes. But yeah, lowest score wins. All you really just have to hit the ball on the cone. You're not going to have to make it in.
No.
Because that would be much more difficult. But we're going to see how this goes. Hope you guys enjoy. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So for our first hole, we have the cone out on the tee, and James is going to start us off.
As the reigning champ, I get to go first. So, what do you think this is? Par 3?
Yeah, we'll say par.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll say par 3.
Okay. I was bred for this.
That's not a bad.
Oh, it died. It died on me.
James with a nice one. Started off. Let's see if he can.
This could be huge.
Let's see if he can get a birdie here.
This could be huge. Don't overshoot it though. Oh my goodness! Oh, it's dying. Boom! Not a bad hit at all. This one's a gimme right here. I'll shoot it left-handed just to show the world how great I am. Look at that, baby.
You missed it.
I was almost a little short, but it takes skill. All right.
All right. Now on mine. All right. I gotta get a birdie here. Gotta get in 2 strokes.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to win, if you want to beat me this round anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way you're getting even close to where I got it. I had a perfect one. Yikes! Wow! All right, this dude doesn't know how to golf.
No, I'm learning. For everybody watching at home, I am left-handed, and I am learning to play golf right-handed. So that's just my disclaimer for the video, by the way.
That's just your excuse.
But I'm not giving excuses. I'm just saying.
Okay.
If I look very awkward, that's why. But I'm still gonna beat you.
No shot, buddy. After that first putt,
Let me get another practice swing.
look at you. You don't know how to golf. And neither do I, but. Wow. Nice recovery. Nice recovery from the kid.
All right, now we got a big putt here. Shout out to Clay Badio, by the way, for letting us use his putter. It's very clutch.
We'll see if
we got a
Caleb can get
big
this
putt
done.
here. To sink.
And what do we think here? About a 7-footer?
I'll say about a 6. 5 or 6.
Nah, it's a 7.
But I mean, what do you think? A little right to left action.
Yeah, the field does tilt a tad. This is big though. This is big. See, here's Caleb's problem. He's overthinking it. Wow, clutch putt, and we're tied after 1. We are tied after 1.
All right. So what are we thinking about par 5?
Par 5. Yeah, we're going from here, the end of the tee, all the way to
No. This is a par 4.
Yeah, I think this is a par 4.
The last one will be par 5.
Yeah, we got to go all the way to the field goal post and hit that pad there.
The blue post, the blue padding is what we're aiming for.
This one's gonna be tough. This is like my drive here.
Don't break Clay's putter.
Oh, I know how to putt. Don't worry about me.
Do you know how to putt drive though?
Can't be that hard. Do I know how to putt drive?
What a putt!
Wow, she's rolling, baby. First down. Par 5 or par 4, we said.
No,
But,
yeah, par 4.
I think I can get this in 2. So if I'm lucky, 1.
An eagle would be clutch.
An eagle would be crazy. Give me that. Rolled kind of the wrong way there. Didn't get the spin I wanted. This is a dangerous game here, folks. If I hit this long, it's going into the stones. So we got hazards.
And that will roll for a while.
Pretty far.
And he sinks it. He sinks
Let's go, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen. Birdie again.
Birdie.
James.
Birdie. I didn't get a birdie last time. I got par.
All right. James with a nice birdie. He's at, what are you sitting? 7 under? Or not 7 under, you're at 7.
I'm at 7. I'm at 1 under right now.
Yeah, you're
so
1 under.
Not too shabby.
I need a great starting putt, unlike last time.
Yeah. I don't know if you can recover from that if you do it again.
Man, that wind is brisk. It is like right in my face.
Well, you got to focus up. Wow. Oh. You know, he got some distance on it, but a little to the right there. I don't know if the camera can see that. Yep.
I'm fine with that. That's way better than my last one. More dangerous than your putt. Like to go ahead on an eagle.
High risk, high reward.
Yeah. Well, let's see what we can do.
Sure, you going for it?
I mean, I got to.
Okay. He wants the lead, folks. But this could be deadly.
My hands are freezing. All right. Let's see what we can do.
All right, come on, man.
How are we looking, huh?
Just hit it in a straight line.
Right to
Right?
left
It's not that hard.
Is it left or right?
Right to left. Come on. Look at the flags.
I went the ground, not the wind.
He does not have it in him.
Oh!
Wow. So it might come down to this putt. Who knows?
It was going the right way I wanted it to, but now I got to sink this big putt, tie it up again.
Hey, all is not lost. Wow. It's not going to happen. Oh, wow. Not enough power from Caleb Elliott.
Oh.
I mean, just it's a gimme from here, though. Hopefully. If you miss this one, I don't know what to tell you, bud. So you're at 8, I'm at 7. So we got a battle going into this last round, and this one's a par 5 for sure. We're gonna have to launch it.
All right.
So we got a par 5 here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going from here over 100 yards. What's this? 115 yards?
Yeah.
To that next goalpost. That's what we're trying to get. If we could go par 6, we would. But golf rules don't allow that. So
well, yeah, we got par 5 here.
need a lot of power.
It is going to be a tough one.
Let's see what we can do, though. Hoping to get this one at least 30 yards. Oh! Oh, wow! Well, good thing I have a stroke lead, right? Well, this last putt, it did not go as planned. I went about, I was hoping for around 30. I got about, let's see, is that 12? Maybe 13. So I'm gonna need a good putt here for sure if I want to stay in this game. Now that's more like it, baby.
It's not bad. That'll roll.
That's not bad. That's not bad. It got me back in the game for sure.
Well, if James sinks his putt, he'll get an eagle, and that will be game. But I highly doubt it. So
yeah,
let's see what we can do.
But hey, I'll give her a shot, baby. My last putt was about 40 yards. I could get pretty darn close. So. What am I doing?
He is folding under pressure, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. And this next time, I'm gonna have to sink this for par, and I don't think that's gonna happen. To be perfectly honest with you, I gotta say I think the weather's affecting me a little bit. Got a little chilly this last round, so I gotta lock in, warm up. Maybe get this for par.
Probably not.
I really doubt it, because if I hit that cement, it's gone. Oh, give it to me! Give it to me! No way.
Oh my goodness.
That was one of the clutchest putts in all of history, bro. I was about a foot and a half away from hitting cement there, and that thing would have rolled. Thank goodness. I have a gimme here. This is for 1 over, so I'd end on, even par on the day. But, yep, that's a clutch putt, baby. That's how it's done. Could have been worse, could have been better. Can't complain.
I have a chance to tie it up.
Or win it. Or win it.
Or win it.
Who knows? Let's get her going.
All right. I need to get at least, you're even, right?
Yes, I'm at, let's see, 3, 4, I'm at 12. So.
Yeah, and I'm even too.
Yeah.
So I got to get this in
Gotta get this in 5 to tie. 4 to win.
4 to win.
Yes.
3 to win. 2 to win. 1 to win.
I mean, that's just not going to happen, but hey, you can hope.
Hey, it all starts with this first putt, unlike you.
It's true. Oh my goodness. I hope. Wow. Wow. Look at that. My goodness. What was it? Is that a 3-foot putt? This dude might be the most unclutchest player in Fungo.
I like to make it hard on
history.
myself. I like to make it hard on myself.
Wow, he's got to hit this in 3 to win, 4 to tie. Oh my goodness, that wasn't even in the frame.
Restart it.
No.
Didn't know.
He's at 2 strokes and he hasn't made it out of the end zone.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. You want to give up, man?
No.
This is embarrassing. Wow.
I don't know what's going on. The temperature is definitely my fingers are frozen.
That's fair. But hey, we're all dealing with the elements, man.
I don't know what that was. Now I have to get.
You got 2 strokes to tie. So it's not looking too good for you.
Oh no.
Wow. There's no way. He's got a chance. Holy. Are you kidding me? You're telling me you had a 1.5 yard putt over here and you just got like a 70?
It's not even, it's like longer. Well, somehow, some way, I'm a miles away still, but
Still
somehow I'm here.
with a chance to tie.
Chance to tie it, chance to go into a shootout.
Sudden death.
So, see what we can do, but it all starts with this putt.
Yeah, you have to hit this. It's that clutch factor, that it factor. Wow. Oh, man. He's not that guy. He's just not. And look at that thing roll. Hey, it's a good game, but I'm 2-0, brother. 2-0. It feels good to be undefeated, baby.
Well, yeah, that'll do it for this round of our competition segment. James wins again. He's up 2-0. But there's still a lot of time left for me.
I'll gonna need a big comeback though.
Yeah,
big comeback.
But yeah. So that's what we got for this competition segment. Hope you guys enjoy. We'll see you guys back at the news desk.
And we're back here. Gonna close this thing off. Hope you guys enjoyed that segment. I know we enjoyed it a lot too. But
it's a fun time out there just competing and
yeah, it's a lot
doing
of fun.
some fun games.
Yeah,
you know,
we hope you guys. We really do hope you guys enjoy it. We try to mix up some stuff. Just trying to make it more fun for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, we hope if you have any other suggestions of things we should try out. I know we got a couple more things. Maybe sprinkle some tennis in there sometime.
Yeah.
Maybe some other just skill stuff. Maybe some just lucky stuff.
We'll see.
We'll see what we got for the rest of the semester. But so now what we're gonna do. This episode comes out on Friday, so it's Good Friday. Hope you guys having a good Friday. But we're gonna kind of talk about some Easter. I know me and James are both of your family celebrates Easter, and
yeah.
I know my family celebrates Easter, and we're just gonna kind of talk about that a little bit. Some of our viewers might not know much about Easter, might know it's just a holiday, and
yeah.
you get Good Friday off of school sometimes, and but yeah, like what does your family usually do for Easter, James?
Well, we don't do much traveling. A lot of our family lives around us, so we just go to my grandma's house. We go over there. It's on my mom's side, so we eat food, we play basketball. Basically, me and my brothers, we alternate that for about 2 hours. Just eat food, and then we go off and play basketball.
Yeah,
just have a good time with the family, talk.
Yeah,
and then afterwards, just chill and enjoy the day. It's really nice when the sun's out and you can it's almost like the first day of spring in a way.
Right,
Normally Easter's pretty warm, so
yeah, we pretty much do the same thing. We'll have brunch.
Yeah, that's kind of what
earlier
ours is.
Earlier in the afternoon sometimes. We'll go around. It kind of rotates. We usually go to my mom's side of the family for Easter, and we'll have brunch. It's a pretty low key day. There's not really sports on that day.
There's always basketball, but it's NBA, and no one really cares. But I think this year there'll be Elite Eight games, right? I think.
I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so I mean, we'll probably play basketball or just go outside, throw a football around.
Yeah.
Just being outside, because like you said, it's almost, if it's not the nice day, it's usually raining.
Yeah.
But it's never really cold.
No, it's always nice.
It's always nice weather, good temperature. It's a good time to be outside. But yeah, it's definitely up there as one of my favorite holidays, just because I mean, obviously for the reason behind it, but also just because it feels like it's like a marker in the year that's just kind of a cleanser, and just kind of
exactly.
It helps you refocus and remind yourself of just the opportunities we have, what we're thankful for, and just kind of set you in that perspective.
And it's one of those days, a lot of people are finishing school, and that final push, it kind of gives you that little break, that little reset, and it's
right.
Okay.
Yeah. And especially I don't know how it is for people that don't understand what Easter is, but I know for me, it's just it gives me a lot of confidence and a lot of just thankfulness, and helps give me a push towards like you said, the end of the school year, and just the reason for the season, man. But,
exactly.
So we've got a couple things that we're gonna read through. I found this TikTok, and it sets you into perspective of what Jesus had to go through, and
what Easter is really about
when he was crucified. And we'll kind of just there's multiple slides, and I'll read through them, and we'll kind of talk about it. But also before we get started, I mean, some of this stuff is pretty gruesome, pretty in detail. If you don't want to listen to it, I don't know, I'll probably set a marker maybe to when you can come back. But this, I mean, we're not going to keep it PG, because that's not
what it was.
That's not what it wasn't PG. It wasn't family friendly.
Yeah, it was rated R. That's for sure.
I mean, and that's just, I mean, it sets you into perspective too of what he went through because he loves us so much.
Exactly.
And, why we celebrate, and that's why why we take that day off, why we remember that day. So I'll get us started. So it says, at the age of 33, Jesus was condemned to death by crucifixion. At the time, crucifixion was the worst death. Only the worst criminals were condemned to be crucified. Before his crucifixion, Jesus hid in the Garden of Gethsemane, where he cried out and sweated blood, knowing his fate. The Roman guards found Jesus and arrested him. And I think just that first part was just it was the worst. it wasn't like they were like, we're gonna arrest him and we're gonna beat him and we're gonna like or we'll just kill him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they wanted it to send a message.
And the even worse part about it, it's like Jesus had that. He knew what was going to happen, and that anticipation had to have been killing him this entire time. Like that's why he went to the garden and prayed so hard because he knew what was going to happen. Like the willpower to do that is insane.
And I don't think it talks about it in here, but it was Peter, right? That when he said when the third rooster crows,
yes,
that he will
have denied him 3 times.
Right, he'll have denied him 3 times. And it was when he said that he does not know Jesus, that the third, like as soon as he said that, the third rooster crows. And like every time I read that, like I'm getting goosebumps right now thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like that just is like so wild. Like imagine that.
Yeah.
Imagine you're in Peter's shoes, and as soon as you said that, the rooster crows, and it's like you remember what he said.
Yeah, and you got to feel bad for Peter because we're human, you know.
Right.
Naturally, you're scared, and it's a tough situation for him to be in, but it just shows that God has that mercy for you.
Yeah, so we'll continue on. It says, to begin, Jesus was horrifically whipped and beaten in front of a laughing and mocking crowd, including his own mother Mary. The whipping was so severe that it tore the flesh from his body, his face was torn, and his beard was ripped from his face. You would assume to see his wounds, his hands, and his feet, but his wounds were made in his body. And I'll continue on. I'm going to continue on because this part kind of adds on to it. But it says, picture a baseball bat with sharp spikes on its sides going into your body, and then it cuts into you. It's pulled out and rips flesh from your body.
Yeah, 49 times that they did that to him.
You want to tell them why it was 49 times?
It was 49 times because in the Roman times it was proven that 50 times of getting either beaten or whipped like that, it would kill a person. So they wanted to make it one less than death.
Yeah. And I think, I forget who told me this, but I think like they said the whips that they used was just had like nails and like shards of glass.
Yeah.
And just like, man.
Yeah.
It
was barbaric for sure.
Yeah. And it's just like, and it keeps coming back to like, why wouldn't they just stab him? Why wouldn't they just like kill him right away? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's just because it showed like how much he meant to people, and it caused so much hatred for like the people that were scared of it that they just had to, like they had to show all that hate, like and the devil had to shed all that hate into that person to do that for them. So it's just, I mean,
and he had to take the sins of the whole world too.
Right.
That's a lot of punishment.
Yeah. It's bizarre, man. Then a Roman guard piercing his side with a spear, and more Roman guards mocking him as they would shove a crown of thorns deeply into his scalp. He had no more blood to bleed out, only water poured from his wounds. That is crazy to me.
Yeah. That's crazy. I read that passage yesterday. It was just water and blood poured from his wounds. That's crazy.
And it talked about, it might talk about it later, but he was talking about how he was bleeding blood, or not bleeding, crying blood. And we read about this in my old youth group, but you actually can bleed blood. Or
really?
Not, oh my gosh. You can actually cry blood.
That's crazy.
It's an actual physical thing. And it
find it?
But yeah, it's just like he was so focused and so like crying so much that it became blood because he knew like what he had to do.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what in the world?
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine.
It's absolutely crazy.
I can't imagine being so focused on something and so distraught about something that I cried blood.
Yeah.
Because it means like you cared so much, like how much he loves us.
Yeah.
And like how much that he like just all that love for us, like he had to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, Jesus poured 3.5 liters of his blood. He had 3 nails hammered into his body, a crown of thorns on his head, and beyond that, a Roman soldier who stabbed a spear into his chest. All without mentioning the humiliation he suffered after carrying his own cross, which was 66 pounds for almost 1.5 miles, while the crowd threw stones at him, hating and laughing at Jesus while he was in his lowest. Imagine having to carry like a barbell up for 1.5 miles.
Wait, did it say it was 66 pounds?
66 pounds.
That's kind of light.
For 1.5 miles?
No, I know it's heavy, but like, I was thinking like, when you think of cross, I mean, you're thinking.
Mm-hmm. But it's like distributed. It's like distributed out too, so it's probably awkward. It's not like you have like.
No, I get what you're saying. Obviously, you can't actually carry it. you have to drag it too.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have thought it would have been a lot bigger.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, still like a mile and a half.
No, that's actually crazy though.
Imagine running a mile.
After getting whipped 49 times
Right.
and
You have
abused,
no strength
and you have
left.
no, you're dehydrated and you're bleeding out. Yeah.
You have no strength left, and you have to carry that for a mile and a half. Yeah. And he could have given up,
Easily, yeah.
but because he loved us so much that he kept going.
I mean, at the end, he couldn't even carry it. He had to get someone from the crowd to help him carry it because he couldn't even do it. That's how little strength he had left.
So like imagine, like just to put that in our perspective, getting a barbell, right, and putting a couple tens on the side
Oh, yeah.
and carrying that for a mile, but also like you haven't had anything to eat all day, you haven't had anything to drink all day, and you would still have more energy than him.
Yeah.
Like that's just blows my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And all at the same time, like you have people like yelling at you. Like usually in that situation, you probably have people like cheering you on, right?
Yeah.
Helps you
No.
get going. No, you have people like tearing you down, like,
Laughing at you, yeah.
saying you're not the Messiah, saying you're not this, you're not that. Like I hate you, blah blah blah. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it just
It's pretty crazy, for sure.
and his mom was there. Like
Yeah.
imagine like I can't imagine that. I cannot.
Yeah. That must have pained him a lot, I'm sure.
And it says, Jesus was to be nailed on the cross by his hands and feet. Each nail was 6 to 8 inches long. The nails were driven into his wrist. There's a tendon in that wrist that extends to the shoulder. The Roman guards knew that when the nails were being hammered into the wrist, that tendon would tear and break, forcing Jesus to use his back muscles to support himself so that he could barely breathe.
Yeah.
Just the wickedness, man.
Yeah.
It's just like how methodically thought out it was.
Yeah.
And just like, yeah, man. Both of his feet were nailed together. He was forced to support himself on the single nail that impaled his feet to the cross. Jesus could not support himself with his legs because of the pain, so he was forced to alternate between arching his back and using his legs to just to continue to breathe.
And I want to mention also this process of a crucifixion. This wasn't like, a quick hour or whatever. This was like 4 to 5 hours.
This was the whole day.
Yeah. Like on the cross, you were struggling to breathe and like pushing yourself up and then like coming back down and like suffocating. And then like you'd panic and you go back up and you get a breath.
After you had all that happen before you.
Yes. For like hours. I think they projected like Jesus's was about like 4 because of all the stuff before. But it wasn't like he was, he got on the cross and then he died. Like he was suffering for like 4 or 5 hours.
Insane, man. And then it concludes in saying, imagine the struggle, the pain, the suffering, the courage. Jesus endured this reality for over 3 hours, like you said. Jesus went through barbaric and horrific torture while getting mocked and laughed at by a crowd and died the brutalest death in history because of his love for you. And that just goes to show, like, that's why we celebrate the holiday. It's not for Easter bunnies.
No.
It's not for chocolate eggs. And it's just, I feel like people might have lost that a little bit. And
Yeah.
we have to be reminded. And there's a movie called The Passion. I know a lot of like Christian people. Like I haven't seen it.
Is it called Passion of the Christ or is it just Passion?
I think it's Passion of the Christ.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend watching
It's
it.
very,
it's really, really good.
It's the closest adaptation to Jesus' crucifixion on film, and
Yeah.
it's hard to watch. Like
It is.
It's not like your average VeggieTales,
Yeah.
It's very hard to watch, but it's just the truth. And sometimes people, I mean, especially nowadays, people think the truth like isn't dirty. It isn't like torn up. Like that is the truth. That is true love. And I would say probably like you have to watch that at least once in your lifetime. Like it's very tough to watch, but
Yeah, you don't want to, but you need to.
yeah, it's just, I mean, it's the reality we have to live with, and that's why we get to live here today, and why we are able to go into heaven one day is because he loved us so much. But yeah, so you have anything else you want to add before?
No, you hit the nail right on the head.
So yeah, I mean, obviously we didn't want to end the episode like on that down note, but
Well,
it's something we had to say. But
wait. Hold on. You forget. We're not going to end on a down note.
Oh, yeah.
You're forgetting the best part is 3 days later
Oh,
when,
yeah.
when he comes back to life.
So that's why we have.
he's still living,
Yeah, so
so-
that's why we have Good Friday. right?
Exactly.
And then so Mary goes on. Mary, right? Or is it Mary Magdalene?
Mary Magdalene.
Mary Magdalene went to the grave where they buried Jesus, and the stone was moved, and they went in there. I've seen a bunch of memes about it, but it's like the officers or whatever, the soldiers in front of this tomb were asleep.
Yeah.
And they were like singing the "Come and Get Your Lover," like hey, and they hear like someone say, "It is Jesus." Like what? But yeah, Jesus then rose from the dead, and he told her to go and tell everybody that what she's seen, and yeah, and then Jesus was alive, and that's why we celebrate Easter.
Exactly.
And people, what's the religion that they think that that's the end?
That he just died?
Yeah.
I mean, Muslims and Jewish people believe that.
And that's, but. I think that's what people get mistaken is like, it's not a sad holiday. Like,
no.
Like, yeah, obviously we're sad that he died and he had to go through that. Like, but we have to remind ourselves, like, he came back alive and he died for our sins, but like death couldn't hold him.
Exactly.
And so, so he rose from the dead, and like it says, he will come back. And I mean, yeah, that's why we celebrate the season, man.
Exactly.
So, yeah, thanks for catching me there.
Yeah, didn't want to end on a bad note there.
But yeah, man, we hope you guys enjoy your guys' Easter if you're celebrating it. And yeah, just enjoy it with family. Enjoy it. I mean, just enjoy family, guys. I know, like I don't get to see my family like every weekend, like some people might, and I know you don't either. But it's just good to get back home and see everybody, get to spend time with each other, and yeah. So we hope you guys enjoy. We'll see you guys next time with a D3 Profiles, and yeah.
Oh yeah. Thanks for watching, guys.